Welcome back to Runnerverse. I'm Andrew, and today I'm playing Earthborne Rangers. This is part 3 and day 3 of my campaign playthrough. So if you want to start from day 1, there's a link in the description to the playlist where you can catch up, but you're welcome to join me either way. I say part 3 and day 3 because I might not play through a full day in each video. I just have to play it by ear based on recording time and how fast I burn through my deck. So we'll see how that goes, but I have everything set up here to pick up where I left off in the previous video. I was able to fix up the northern outpost, and now I am traveling. I've traveled to Aatrox Mountain, which is where I am now. I have my path deck set up for Aatrox Mountain. I've got the woods cards combined with 3 cards from the valley set, and yeah, that's wrong. It's not supposed to be the woods because I'm traveling from here along this path here. Oh no, that is the woods. All right, so I got the woods set. Because that is the woods icon with 3 cards from the valley set. I was looking at this. If I travel from Aatrox Mountain to Lone Tree Station, I will use the mountain set. And I'm thinking I want to do that. But for now, I'm going to have to traverse the Aatrox Mountain first. I'll just give this another quick shuffle. And we're still on a perfect day for our weather. So our campaign tracker here says day 3. Oh, I've actually got an entry to read here. So you can see day 3 up at the top. Still a perfect day for our starting weather, but I need to read 94.1. So I'll do that in a second. My missions, I still have biscuit deliveries completed. I've searched for Lun and lure quiet, and I am going to prioritize searching for Lun because at the start of day 4, if I haven't found him, I'm going to have to read 94.7, and that's probably a bad thing. So we'll lower quiet eventually. But yeah, let's jump into the campaign guide and read 94.1. So this one actually I've got a sticker on here because that means there is errata on this entry. So I'm actually going to close this and pull out my printed errata and look for 94.1 here. You can play just using the guidebook online. So this just all the errata are integrated already, but I don't have easy access to a device while I'm recording, so I like playing out of the book, even if it means occasionally I'm going to have to do some extra work. I don't mind apps in tabletop games when they perform like an essential function, but this is a book, so let it be a book. So it says the revised text is highlighted, but I'll just read the full entry here. It says, if you've completed biscuit delivery, I have. You yawn as you wake up on the trail and then sniff the air curiously. Something smells delicious. You look around your campsite and see, sitting on a rock, a hearty grain loaf and a stack of delicate sweetbread still warm and steaming. Someone hiked by while you were asleep and left them for you. On the top of the loaf, you find a note that says, thanks for delivering the biscuits to us. Enjoy breakfast. Each ranger gains an additional energy and an aspect of their choice for the first round. And it looks like if you haven't completed the biscuit delivery, that would be the expiration date, basically. They were no longer fresh. All right, so I just get 1 energy. I think I'll look at my hand before I decide what I want. Let's finish setting up, taking a look at Aatrox Mountain. The location has a fit, 2 presents, so a little bit harder to traverse. 5 per ranger to traverse this, progress threshold, a little bit high. And fit plus reason, I can climb the steep and perilous route to add 2 progress to this location for every effort. And then it fatigues you. All right, so you can basically progress through this twice as fast, but you will take fatigue from it. Fit plus reason to climb. You get 2 progress for per effort. So if you do the basic common test of traverse X, you'll get 1 progress per effort off a fit test using explore instead of reason. All right, so good option to get through this slightly higher progress threshold. Oh, but I do need to look at the back as well. Aatrox Mountain. I need to read entry 11. And then the lead ranger, that's me, is going to search the path deck for the next obstacle and put it into play. If there were any more rangers, they would also have to, one of them would have to do that. All right, entry 11 says Aatrox Mountain. During your training, Calypso would jokingly threaten to send you on a patrol of Aatrox Mountain whenever she needed to provide you with some extra encouragement. Now, struggling up the side of the mountain, you can see why. The paths around Aatrox Mountain are a maze of narrow trails weaving between rockfalls and slopes of unstable scree. And you know that lurking along the trail there may be an Aatrox waiting to pounce. All right, so the mountain is named Aatrox for the predators, I assume. Let's check for the next obstacle. And although I don't think I'm going to find any Aatroxes because I'm on the woods. So it would be once I leave Aatrox Mountain to go back to Lone Tree, that's when I'd be playing with the mountain set and possibly find Aatroxes. Here's an obstacle, the overgrown thicket. So this is going to come out based on the location setup These, I believe, get shuffled back in. Not sure if they get shuffled and put in the bottom or shuffled back into the entire deck, but I'm just going to shuffle the whole deck because I don't have any other cards set up there. So this is going to be pointing up, so it's going to be starting out along the way. And 3 harm or 2 progress to clear it. Cannot interact with the location while it's out because it is an obstacle. I also cannot travel while it's out because it is an obstacle, but I can use awareness and exploration to hunt for a way through. Adding progress equal to my effort. And I don't think that mountain challenge icon will be super relevant because it discards progress in order to fatigue you, but it clears with 2 progress. It'd be more relevant if there were more players in this game, but I only need 2 to clear it, so it's unlikely it's going to have a single progress on it. And I am searching for Lun. If your current location is not a ranger station, when a feature comes into play, place 2 trail tokens on it. So I'm going to place 2 trail tokens here, and when a card with the trail tokens on it is cleared, they come onto this, and when I have 4, I get to progress the mission. So I'll read 1.45. So that might be my priority, is just to clear those off ASAP. And for my extra energy from the start of day special stuff, completed the biscuit mission, I'm going to take a 3rd awareness because I'm going to kick things off by just trying to clear this with, I'm going to spend 2 of that 3 awareness to do this aware plus exploration test. Man, a -1 would stink. I have a lot of connect icons in my hand. I do have bold. You're allowed to mulligan, and I feel like this hand might be a hand I would mulligan. Let me check the rules for mulliganing. If you don't like your starting hand, you can set aside any number of cards and draw an equivalent number, then shuffle them back into your deck. So I think I don't need either of these 2 engagings. These are for, I think, dealing with people more than anything else. I'll keep the rest. So I'm going to set these aside, draw 2 replacements, and then shuffle these back in. I'm sure I'm doing things out of order in terms of following the setup procedures, but I don't really care. I don't even like to look at my hand until I've processed everything. So there you have it. Now I kind of wish I took a 4th spirit, but I think I'm okay. I'm not going to rewind that. No, I think the awareness is probably better. So I'm going to commit 1 out of the 3. Keeping 2, and I will commit bold. So I'm performing the test on this overgrown thicket. Awareness means I have to spend at least 1 awareness energy, so I'm spending 1, and the exploration symbol means I can add exploration icons from my hand, so I'm going to commit bold, which has 2. So I'm committing 3 total so far, but in order to resolve it, I need to reveal a card from the challenge deck, and I'm looking at green. Green is -1, so instead of 3, I have 2. Because there's no number next to the word hunt, that means I need a 1 to succeed. I got a 2, so I succeeded. And it says to add progress to this feature equal to my effort. My resultant progress was 2, so I will add 2 progress to it. And because its progress threshold is 2 per ranger, and I'm the only ranger, 2 will clear it, which means these 2 trail tokens are going to move on to search, and I'm halfway done already. So this card is cleared, put into the path discard. I still need to resolve the sun ability. So I'm going to search all cards in play for the sun. And there's one here on the search mission that says move a trail token from a feature to another feature, but there are no features out currently, so nothing has to move, which means that didn't resolve, which means my Scepter of Harmony triggers. And this is my conduit for being a shaper. This is what I need to play manifestation cards. It has a setup keyword, so it started in play. And it starts with 1 song token. And after I perform a test in which no challenge effects were resolved, I get to add a song. So it's now going to have 2 songs, which is good because in order to play a manifestation card, I have to spend a token from a conduit, which for me is songs. I can also exhaust this and remove X songs to add X progress to a being. But I haven't seen a lot of beings in a while. So previous day, I spent a lot of my songs just playing manifestation cards, which is nice. So this is now done as well, and I can do something else. So, I forgot. I skipped a step here in the round structure. Step 1 was to draw a path card. So I should have drawn a path card first. After that overgrown thicket came out because of the location setup, I should have begun the round with a path card. So rewind that a little bit. And I found a ranger cache. So I'm going to read entry 79 for this. It's going to be along the way, 3 harm to clear it, or 1 ranger icon. And with awareness plus exploration, I can search the cache for useful gear to move your ranger token to it. Then you may search your deck for a gear and equip it. But if you fail, move your ranger token to this feature, you may add 1 token to one of your equipped gear. And when it is cleared by ranger tokens, each ranger shuffles 2 cards from their discard into their deck. Very interesting. This is generally a good card for me, although it will fatigue me if I try to interact with something in the surroundings, such as the location Aatrox Mountain. This is going to be yet another way for me to spend my awareness, but I'm not in a rush to do it, but that I think will be good to be able to search for gear and put into play. And this icon here means if each player's ranger token is on it, it will clear. And again, because I'm the only ranger right now, if I put my ranger token on it, it will clear. So I'll just do this one time and then it will be gone. Let's go ahead and read 79. You barely notice the sigil carved into a nearby rock. You don't see any sign of the ranger cache, but you whistle the 5 tones that Ben Amon taught you during your training. The illusion of a rocky outcropping covered in lichen flares and fades as the Lunnder deactivates, revealing 4 carbon-forged chests bolted to the rock. All right, pretty cool. All right, so that would be drawing 1 path card per ranger, and then I go into the ranger turns. I've already played 1 action, which was to perform the test on Overgrown Thicket. After that, a different ranger should go, but I'm only a ranger, so I get to go as many times as I want before moving into travel and refresh. But I'm going to cheat again. I was locked into that game plan, but I actually had drawn this after the mulligan, the static sifter. This is why I was saying I wanted more spirit. After I add 1 or more harm to flora, actually I didn't add any harm to it, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, never mind. I'm not adding harm to it. I added progress to it. If I added harm to it, I could get victuals, which would let me soothe fatigue, but I don't have my thing that lets me add harm. So actually, man, I should have done this totally differently, but I'm just going to keep moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and play this now. So spend 2 spirit from my 3 down to 1 because of the 2 cost there. This will take up 1 of my 5 gear slots. My scepter takes up 2, so that's 3 total gear slots out of 5 taken up. And I'll put this into play. It starts with 0 victuals, but I can collect them when I add harm to flora. I think I will go ahead and do this test on the ranger cache. I'm going to commit my remaining 2 awareness to it, and I'm going to commit versatile, which adds a connection icon, but before I commit it, I can suffer a fatigue to change it to a different attribute, or rather all of the other attributes, but only one of them matters at a time as far as I can tell. So to fatigue myself, I'm going to take the top card of my deck and put it into this fatigue stack, which means I'm running out my deck and getting closer to being forced to end the day. But that's going to add 1 exploration icon, so now I have 3 effort committed. Draw a challenge card looking for green. It's actually a +1, so I was playing it safe in case I got a -1, but it gives me a total of 4. All I needed was a 2 because it says the number 2 next to the word search, so I'll add my ranger icon to it and search on my deck for a gear and equip it. I would like to get the carbon forged trowel, so this is going to give me that spirit plus reason test to tend to local plants and add or remove harm from them based on my effort. This will completely fill up my gear slots though. And then I need to, so this is going to be cleared. Oh, and when I clear it, I shuffle 2 cards from my discard into my deck. So technically that would be the bold and this versatile. So those both get shuffled back in, which actually is nice because that means I can play the day a little longer if I want to. More cards in my deck. And this is gone. And then I can resolve the mountain. Perfect Day says if this test added progress, add 1 more. It did not add progress. This mountain says remove a trail token from a feature, but there are none. And that's it. So I get a 3rd song. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to traverse this using the common test to traverse the top. Fitness plus exploration, so I'm going to commit 2. The traverse test has an X, which means is referring to the presence of the card I'm interacting with, which is a 2. So I need a 2 to succeed. Or no, I can use this fit test to climb it. It will fatigue me, but I get twice as much progress. And it doesn't have a number next to it, which means the default is 1, so only a 0 would fail this one. And there's no fail state, unlike the traverse test, which would give me an injury. So climbing it is actually safer, but I will automatically get fatigued no matter what. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to stick with the 2, checking for red, 0. So I got a total of 2, which means I add 4 progress to it. It has a threshold of 5, so I cannot travel now this immediately, but I made a good amount of progress. The sun says move a trail token from a feature to another feature. Doesn't apply. I'll get another song. And I don't think I'm going to use this last spirit, but I will use my focus to use this remember test. It's got ranger cards equal to my effort and then draw a ranger card. So let's do, I'm just going to do 1 got a 0, so a total of 1, which means I get to scout 1 ranger card and then draw 1 ranger card. I got Artel's Vaulting Rod, which is one of my new cards, but I've totally filled up my gear slots already. It's better when there's a water feature around because you can go fishing, but I might take it just because it has those 3 different icons on it. So yeah, I'll just take it in my hand because it's got exploration, reason, and conflict icons. So I'll let that stay on the top and then draw it. And then I need to resolve the crest, which says I suffer 1 fatigue here. If there were 2 active predators, something else would happen. So now I've got 2 fatigue and 1 spirit, and I think I'll go ahead and move out of step 2 of the round. The travel step, if I had progress on the location equal to or greater than its threshold, but I don't. So I'll skip ahead to refresh, where I ready all cards. Done. Refresh all my energy and then draw a ranger card. And then there's also the weather here happens to have an effect that happens during refresh, which is to remove 1 cloud. If there are no clouds remaining, flips, and it flips to become the midday sun, which is kind of harsh. But for now, I'm just going to have 2 clouds remaining. And we go back to step 1 of the round. Next round, each ranger draws a path card. So I'm looking for more features for searching, but let's see. I got a Sitka buck, so I could start on the luring. I mean, why not? So this is going to be within reach of me because the arrow pointing down, and it has effects on all 3 challenge icons, 1 presence, 3 harm, and 5 progress. All right, I'm going to play Green Thumb. So this lets me search the path deck and discard for a flora and put it into play with this skill attached. And I'm going to choose the Overgrown Thicket from the discard pile because it is a feature, which means it's going to have more trails that I can try to follow for my search mission. It's going to have this card attached, which means its harm threshold is increased by 2. So if I wanted to use my trowel to harm it, it's going to be that much harder. But I can just use its own test to hunt for a way through the dense foliage, and I just need 2 progress on it to clear it. But now the Sitka buck is in between me and the along the way. So if I did, I'd be ignoring the Sitka buck and I would take 1 fatigue because that's its presence value. Unless I deal with the Sitka buck first. I think I just want to try to clear the thicket. So I'm going to use the awareness plus exploration test. I'm going to commit my 2 awareness. I need to get a 2, so a -1 or a -2 would mess me up. So I'll commit 1 more from familiar ground. I will be getting fatigued here. I think that happens toward the end of the test. So let's resolve this. All right, now the fatiguing happens first, so I'll take 1 fatigue because the Sitka buck is within reach, but I'm interacting with a card farther away than that, which is the thicket with its along the way. 3 effort checking for green. Got a +1, so it's a 4, which is a success because that is 1 or more. So I get to add 4 progress here. It has a clearing threshold of 2, so it's cleared, and that will put these trail markers onto my search mission and clear the thicket. So let's see the search mission. It says have 4 or more trail tokens on this mission, read 1.45. Search for Lund, go to 1.45A. Read 1 entry based on how many days have passed since starting the search for Lund mission. I don't know. Well, I found the mission on day 1. This is day 3. So how many days have passed? I don't know. Does day 1 count as having passed since that's the day when I found it? Technically day 2 passed, definitely. Day 3 hasn't passed because it's currently day 3. Day 1 didn't pass because that's when I found it. I don't know how I'm supposed to read that. I guess I'm going to count day 1 and 2 as having passed. I'm not confident in that. So I'm going to read the 2+. It says, almost by accident, you find Lund curled up at the base of a tree. His arm is in a crude sling and he's covered with days of dirt and grime. A rich odor rises from him, certain to attack predators. Search the path deck for the next predator and put it into play within reach of a ranger of your choice. After you give Lund some first aid, a little color returns to his face. I feel a bit foolish, he admits. I've been tracking a biomeld, not like any I've seen before. A few days ago, I spotted it through the trees. Big one. Looked dangerous, so I went after it, running so fast that I tripped and fell down this slope. Complete the Search Lund mission and gain the Rescue Lund mission. Put Lund Outpost Tender into play. Within reach of a ranger of your choice, attach the rescue card to him. Do not read his entry. You have to get Lund to a ranger station in 1 piece. All right, so search becomes rescue. You found the missing person. Get them back to safety as quickly as possible. At the start of the day, you need to read 1.47, but I'm not starting the day. The subject of this mission gains persistent, which means they can traverse locations with you. When the subject of this mission is cleared, resolve the following effects instead, whether they're cleared by harm or progress. You can't clear with the progress because they need to be carried on. But if you arrive in a ranger station, will complete the mission. So Lun comes out, and now he is coming into play. Because technically I do need to write down this mission. It's day 3, and I need to rescue Lun. It said to skip reading his entry, number 41. He's got 2 presents. He's friendly, 3 harm to clear him with harm, and 4 progress, but we're not using that. If the northern outpost is the current location, he can discard neglect. With the sun, with the crest, he gets attacked by a predator. And speaking of predators, that text just told us to bring out the next predator. So let's see what we've got. Prowling Wolfhound is also going to be within reach. 2 presence, 4 harm, and 6 progress. If there's another predator, it comes into play. Exhausted, but there's not. On a sun, it will ready another Wolfhound. On a crest, if you have 3 or more fatigue, exhaust it and take an injury. I do have 3 or more fatigue, so I'm gonna have to be careful about that. And I guess since I put all this stuff into play, I'm now resolving it, resolving these mountains with all this stuff out. So the buck actually does have one. If there's an active predator, exhaust it and add harm 2 harm to it, and harm to this being equal to its presence. And its presence is 2. So they both get 2 harm. The predator and the buck got into a fight, which is good for Lun, because that means he's less likely to get attacked. So for Lun, I just need to travel. And I almost have enough. I do want to collect prey for the lure quiet mission. And this only needs 1 more harm, but I don't think I can do that harm. Well, I could strike it with my trowel. It's not a very efficient way to strike, but if I really wanted to clear it, it already has 2 harm. So I could kind of finish it off just so that I'd have it for my lure mission. But I kind of need my fit to traverse or climb. So I don't think I want to spend my fitness energy for that. I've got 3 spirits, so I could try to connect with it, but it has a 5, and I have no connection icons in my hands, and there's no +2, so there's no chance that I would get up to 5. And I'm not really planning to wait around here. So I'm going to use that bottom one, the avoid test. I'm going to commit. Oh, I know, I don't have awareness, so I can't do that either. I think I'm just going to have to take another fatigue climbing the mountain. Oh, you know what? I can use my Scepter of Harmony. I was thinking that I have to do all the songs at once, that bottom ability exhaust, and use X songs to add X progress to a being, but I can just use it to clean up the difference. So let's go ahead, and I've got 4 songs now. So I'm going to go ahead. I will connect for 3, and let's resolve yellow -1, so 2. So that will add 2 progress to the buck, and then I need to resolve the sun. There's no active predator. It's exhausted, so it's not active. So search the path and that can discard for the next predator. Can I get another predator into play? Come on. Oh, we got Umbra. It's gonna be along the way. 3 presence. Persistent is going to follow me. 4 harm and 6 progress. Spirit plus harm, or spirit plus conflict to scare it. Requirement of 3. Scare off the massive raptor. Place this being on top of the path deck. If you fail, suffer an injury. And this is from the Valley set. So this could appear basically anywhere that isn't a signature location. Well, that was 1 sun icon. The Sitka Buck has 1. If there's another active Sitka Buck, but there's not. And Lund says if you're at Northern Outpost, he does something, but we're not. So we got Umbra out. Well, that's going to be annoying for trying to leave the mountain now. All right, so I'm going to use my Scepter of Harmony. I need 3 more to clear the buck, so I'm going to spend 3 songs to add that much progress. I put the generic icons. I should have added progress, but that's 5, so that will clear the buck at least, which then goes under the lure mission. I'm 1 out of 5. I feel like every day I've made progress on this mission and then didn't quite finish it. Oh, I need to read 89 for Umbra. A dark shadow flashes over your head and you duck as the shadow banks around and heads back toward you. You raise your hand to shield your gaze and stare up, quickly spotting the terrifying form of the massive raptor. Her body is big as a stilt horse and massive beak open in a terrifying screech. And yeah, she will follow me. Oh, and wow, I didn't even notice that art. Look how big she is. She's got a little, she's got a Sitka buck for scale there in her talons. So if I try to climb the mountain, I'm taking 3 fatigue from Umbra, but Umbra will definitely take out Lun. If I get a crest icon on a test, Lun is done for, because his crest icon ability here is if there's an active predator, exhaust it and add harm to him equal to its presence. Umbra is a predator, active, presence of 3. He's got a harm threshold of 3. That would be the end of Lun. Well, I guess I can avoid Umbra for now. I'm going to try. All right, I think that's what I have to do, is I need to try to do this avoid test. So I'm going to commit 2 awareness And I have to get lucky because I just have this Artel's Vaulting Rod, which has 1 conflict icon. That's all I've got. The rest of my hand is 2 copies of Ranger Badge, which are good, but haven't been useful so far. So I have a 3. I need a 3 because the X refers to the presence of 3 here. So if I get less than 3, I fail, which doesn't immediately have an impact, but is generally bad here. So 3, looking at green, got a -1. So that is a 2. That is a fail, which means Umbra is not exhausted. My Vaulting Rod is gone. My awareness is gone. And I have to resolve mountains. This one says if I added progress, add 1 more, but I didn't. There's no more mountains, so I actually do get a song, which is cute. If I had 6 songs, I could potentially clear Umbra. I mean, I wonder if I just end the round here. The Wolfhound will get back up. I get to draw a card. I get my energy back. Something else will come out. My other option is to just take the 3 fatigue and try to climb the mountain and leave, but then Umbra's going to follow me. But by then, I will have completed the mission, presumably. So at least I don't have Lund to worry about. I'm going to try it. I'm going to just try to ignore Umbra. So I'm taking 3 fatigue, which is not great. I'm going to commit 2 fit. And I need it. Oh, no, I need a 1 to succeed. I only need a 1. And then that will put 2 progress, which was enough. But if I do get a -2 and fail and I'm stuck here, I don't get to finish the Lund mission, and Umbra and the Prowling Wolfhound are still around next round. And I just took 3 fatigue. That would be bad. So I'm going to commit a Ranger Badge just to make sure. Even a -2 will be a success. So I'm not as much worried about that as I am worried. I really do not want a crest on this card. Let's see. There's a crest. Okay. Well, that's bad. All right. So I got a 0 on fitness. So 3 stays as 3, which means I put 6 progress here, which is overkill. So I just need 5 there. But now I have to resolve the crest. Umbra says, well, this says if there are 2 active predators. They're not, because one of them is exhausted. Umbra says if this being is within reach, exhaust it, but she's not. But then Lund says if there's an active predator, exhaust it, add harm to this being equal to its presence. That's 3, and that clears him. And yeah, that stinks. They worsen and you're forced to stop for the day. Read 1.48. 1.48a for Lund. Lund's eyes roll back in his head and he collapses on the ground. The pain finally overwhelmed him and sent him into merciful unconsciousness. You're a bit relieved he's not suffering at the moment, but with a sinking heart, you realize now you'll have to carry him. Attach Lund face down to a Ranger's roll card. While Lund is attached to your roll, you can only have 2 equip value worth of gear equipped. Arrive at a Ranger station to unattach him. Okay, well that is a bummer. I can only have 2 equipment value worth of gear, which means my trowel and my sifter are both having to head to the discard. I'm going to keep my Scepter of Harmony around. Lund is now attached to my roll, and this reshuffles because of the reshuffle icon. So all of the challenge cards I've flipped so far go back into that deck. So he didn't die, but I lost a couple of gear to my discard pile, which is relevant, I guess, for the rest of the day. So let's move into the travel step. The location has, well, no, wait. We don't have to move to the travel step because now I'm not really worried about any challenge icons. So I can go ahead and try to draw a card. So let's just do a remember test with focus 0. So I get a 1. Resolving the crest doesn't trigger anything. So I get a song, putting me to 3 songs. Got that reshuffle icon again. Is that the same exact card? Give that another shuffle. And I get to scout 1 Ranger card. And yeah, I think I'm actually going to keep this one. So let's leave this in my hand on top and then draw it. So now we'll go into travel. If the location has progress equal to or exceeding its threshold, I have 10, it needs 5. You may travel, remove all path cards from the play area, choose a new location, and assemble the path deck for the new location. So the Wolfhound is gone. The Umbra, she stays because she's persistent. And we're going to be leaving Aatrox Mountain. So leaving the mountain, I'm going to go to Lone Tree Station. So Ranger Station, we're going to be traversing the mountain. So I'm going to get the mountain deck and the Lone Tree Station cards. So the woods cards and the valley set will be the ones going back, except for Umbra, who is from the valley, and she's staying. All right, so Mountain Pass and Lone Tree Station. And the Lone Tree Station location, shuffle these up, and it says, we saw this before, so this is where we started on day 1. It's got 1 presence, clears with 3 progress, and it has awareness plus connection to search beneath the comforting shade of your Giga Redwood home to scout path cards equal to your effort and then draw a path card. I am looking for the guy, something about the Yeti, someone who can help me find the Yeti. So I do want to search for him, I think arrival setup is entry 2 and search for the next predator and discard it and then draw a path card. So Umbra is still here. Search for the next predator and discard it. There's a pouncing Aatrox going to the discard pile because Lone Tree Station is a safe place. And then it says the lead ranger draws a path card, and then I'll draw another one when we start the round. So I'll just put that out now. Read entry 2. I mean, we read it before, but we'll just get a better sense of place. Visible for miles around, Lone Tree is a single enormous giga redwood rising out of the thick grass of a high prairie. From far away, the tree is all you can see, but as you come closer, you can see the rest of the station, the large box garden plot hanging from the branches, the airship Swift moored to its dock in the tree's crown, the doors and windows carved into the trunk and peeking out from among the roots. Lone Tree Station has been the base of operations for the Rangers ever since the people came to the valley, and ever since you became a ranger, it's been your home. All right, so that location comes out. Finished traveling, so let's go ahead and refresh. Ready all cards. My Scepter and Umbra are included there. Get my energy back. Draw a ranger card. I guess technically I should have drawn this one already, which was a fractal wire. It's going to be within reach. It's an obstacle. It's going to be annoying dealing with Umbra with an obstacle in the way. But with focus and conflict, I can break the bladed coils to add harm to it for every 2 effort. Or suffer an injury. That's annoying. Artel's Vaulting Rod would be nice for that. And then at the start of the next round, we have a Shale Scree. It's going to be along the way. Also an obstacle. With awareness plus exploration, I can scramble up the slope of the shifting rocks to add 3 progress to it for every 2 effort. But if you fail, resolve its mountain challenge effect. Okay. And I should have read at some point, I don't know, a lot of stuff happening at once here. Arrive at a ranger station, read 1.46. Let's see if Lun is going to be safe now. Rescue Lun, 1.46a. Lun has been moaning with every step you've taken for the last few hours, and you're getting worried. But your worry turns into relief as you see the ranger station in the distance. Only a short time later, you're tending to his injuries, the analgesic balm relieving his agony. Thank you so much, he says. When I get back to the northern outpost, I can offer you almost anything you could ever want in trade. Return Lun to this collection. Complete the Rescued Lun mission and write Saved Lun on the campaign tracker. Each ranger soothes to fatigue. Phew, he's safe. All right, so this is completed. I have now saved Lun and I get to soothe to fatigue. Get a couple more cards in my hand and he can go back to the box, and I think this mission can go back to the box. So now what? Am I going to try to lure quiet? There's no prey out right now, so I just need to deal with these obstacles and this predator. And then I want to search for the guy who can help me find Yeti, I guess. Maybe get some prey along the way. With my carbon forged trowel gone, it's going to mess with my ability to harm this flora. And my roll card has been pretty useless. I have the ability to return manifestations to my hand, but I haven't drawn a single one. Actually, now I have one. Got 5 cards now, and one of them is a manifestation. Oh, actually, I drew another trowel. So let's play the second copy of my trowel for 2 fitness. And now I can tend to the fractal wire. Spirit plus reason, but I don't have my static sifter. Actually, it's in the discard pile, isn't it? I think I committed one of them. Oh, no? Maybe not. All right, let's do spirit. Oh, I should have removed a cloud as well. Did I forget to remove a cloud? I feel like I might have forgotten to remove a cloud. So I'm going to remove one, which means we are now in the midday sun. During the refresh step, it adds a cloud. When there are 3, it flips back. But on the sun effect, I will gain a fatigue. I can use focus to try to find a shady spot and fatigue 1 and add a cloud to get back to a perfect day faster. But because it's in the surroundings, I've got a lot of stuff in between me that would fatigue me if I tried to find shade. So I think I'm just going to use the trowel's spirit test. I'm not going to add any reason icons. Let's just do a test for 3, and I need a 2 to put 2 harm onto it. Checking yellow is +1. Well, I got a 4. Man, it's this crest again with the reshuffling. All right, well, that will add 4 harm to it, which will clear it. And then we resolve the crest. If there are 2 active predators, there aren't. If this being is within reach, it's not. If this feature is within reach, it's not. Okay, so actually nothing bad happened. I'll just take a 4th song and then shuffle this in. And then I think I'll try to scramble up the Shale Scree. So using this scramble test, I need to get a 2 awareness plus exploration. I've got 2 awareness, and yeah, I'll be bold and use 2 exploration symbols. So it's gonna be 4. Checking for green, 4 minus 1 is 3. It says for every 2 effort. So there's only 1, so I get to add 3 progress here. So I'm gonna have to do that again. And then I have to resolve the sun, which is to get a fatigue. And then if this being is along the way, moving it within reach and it fatigues you, that's 3 more. Wow. And that is it. Now it's at risk of giving me an injury now that Umbra is within reach. And I can't deal with this scree anymore because Umbra's in the way. So I could use my focus to try to remember and draw a card, but that would risk a crest icon, which would give me an injury. So I think I will end this round, ready everything, re-energize, draw a card, get a cloud, and start the new round with a path card, which is more fractal wire. Another obstacle. I think I can deal with it okay, but it's just annoying. I want to find the tracker guy. Hopefully maybe I can find him before the end of the day. So I think I'm going to do just a basic spirit plus connect test to connect X to Umbra, X being 3. So I need to get at least a 3 to succeed and add that much progress. I have 3 spirit though, and I think I'm going to stick with 3. So let's check for yellow. Got a -1, it's 2, but I'm going to play Throng of Life. I finally got a manifestation. Cost me 1 focus to play, and because it's a manifestation, it also cost me a token from my conduit, one of my songs. But I get to change the modifier to one of the other ones on the card. I'm going to, instead of doing -1, I'm going to choose a +1. So instead of 2, it'll be 4. So I get to add 4 progress to Umbra. I have to resolve an extra challenge icon, which I think I forgot in the previous day. So instead of just doing the mountain, I need to do the mountain and something else. I guess I need to do the sun, because if I chose the crest, Umbra would give me an injury. I don't remember what injuries do, but they don't seem good. So I have to do the sun and take another fatigue, also doing the mountain. So the Shale Scree says move this card within reach. Oh, and it fatigues you. Move each being that is within reach of you to another area. So that moves Umbra, which actually, I wonder if that means I could have chosen. No, I still don't want the crest. Well, this is confusing because I actually don't know if I'm supposed to resolve. Let's put everything back. I don't know if I'm supposed to resolve the, let's say I'm going to resolve them together. So I'm going to resolve mountain and sun on each card. And when you do this, you start from the farthest away and move forward, but each card can only happen once. So we're doing mountain and sun. I did that. I'm going to do this one. Move it within reach, it fatigues you. Move each being within reach to another area. And then I guess I would need to resolve Umbra, and it says if it's within reach, move it. If it's along the way, move it within reach, and it fatigues you. So these are both fatiguing me. That's a total of 5. Wow, that's not good. And then the fractal wire says add a harm to each being within reach, which is Umbra. Okay, well that was successful technically, but unpleasant in terms of the amount of fatigue I just took. But now I'm going to use my Scepter of Harmony, or use X songs to add that much progress. I'm going to spend 2 songs to add 2 more progress to Umbra and clear Umbra with progress. So I was able to connect with her and convince her to leave me alone. Down to 3 cards in my deck. Don't know if I'm going to be finding the guy. All right, let's try to scramble again. Don't really want to commit my Ranger badge. I was hoping to play it, but now we're at the end of the day. So, I mean, I guess. I also don't want to travel. So this is weird because you get to camp out and update your deck if you travel when you end the day. But I actually want to play another day here. If I don't find the guy, I want to stay here. So I don't want to travel. All right, I'm not going to commit the badge. Let's just keep a 2. Scrambling the Shale Scree, checking for green, -2. So it says if you fail, resolve its mountain challenge effect, which says move this card within reach and it fatigues you. But I can't move it into reach. So I think because of the arrows there, it's kind of like a requirement that it has to move within reach, and then it would fatigue you. But I've already fallen down the Shale Scree, so I can't fall down it again, I think. So I think nothing happens here. But then I do have to resolve the sun, which gives me another fatigue, and then shuffle this back. So yeah, like I said, I don't really want to travel because I want to stay here, but the incentives mechanically would be to travel. Although I don't need to up my decks, I guess there's no incentive to end the day by anything except for exhaustion here. I'm just going to exhaust myself out. Trying to find this guy or deal with these obstacles in the meantime. Yeah, I can't even try to traverse this because there are obstacles in the way. All right, now I'm going to traverse the Shale Scree using the basic traverse test, which means I need a 2. Really, I need a 3. So I guess this time I will commit the Ranger badge. So I have a 4, 0, so just a 4. We'll add 4 progress, total of 7. That will clear it. Now I need to resolve the crest. There are 2 active predators, there aren't, and that's it. So I will take a song and then reshuffle again. Keep hitting those reshuffles. Now I have no energy, so pretty sure I'm done with this round. Let's ready my cards, energize, draw. Got a single card left, and draw another path card, which is Spirit Speaker now. That's not the person I was hoping to find. She's got entry 45. If you don't have either the accommodation or intervention mission, nope. If I spoke with a spirit, nope. You come across now the Spirit Speaker of Lone Tree Station, sitting cross-legged before what looks like a floating disc of water. Her eyes are closed. You assume it's best not to interrupt whatever she's doing, and wait quietly for a few minutes. The spirit speakers of the valley are the most adept at communicating with the world beyond the visible, spirits great and small, as well as those of the ancestors. Nal's gifts are greater still, for with the help of a device crafted by Ben Amon, she is able to communicate over great distances, projecting images and emotions into the minds of rangers in the field. After several minutes, she opens her eyes and speaks. The spirit of the valley was eager to tell me that you are coming, she says. She turns to you and smiles warmly. How can I help? If you need me to send a message, I may not be able to at the moment. The spirit of the Verdessa, the great jungle to the south, has gone silent. I don't know why. I feel like I need to get to the bottom of it before I do anything else. I'll be too distracted otherwise. Something's wrong. Clear now with progress to ask how you can help. Well, I am interested in that. She's going to be within reach. She's friendly. Focus plus connect to share 2 in Nal's understanding of the universe to add progress to her for every 2 effort. And scout a challenge card. Scouting challenge cards is good. I'm pretty close to the end of the day though, so I'm not too excited about it. And then she gets attacked by predators on the crest symbol. So 1 card left in my deck. Feel like I am interested in her quest, and I could just do that and end the day by finding her mission. Although if her mission has like a day, like if I have to mark a day on the campaign track, I'd rather not it be at the very end of the day when I can't do anything about it. So I can either use my trowel, spend my spirit to tend to the fractal wire to get rid of it, or spend my spirit to connect with Spirit Speaker now. If I do the fractal wire, it's because then I'm going to try to dig into that deck and find the tracker, which would be awareness plus connection to search. And then I would still need to connect with him after that, I assume. And having spent my spirit on the fractal wire, I'd have to go into next round. I think I would get to play the next round since I have 1 card left. But if I hit a sun, which is reasonably likely, then I wouldn't. So let's just clear Spirit Speaker now, and I'll stay here for the next day and try to find the tracker tomorrow. So let's do a connect test. Just a basic connect test. I'm not doing her share test. Let's just do 3. Yeah, 3 will be fine. 3, got a +1, so that's 4. I had the Throng of Life in my hand. Oh, and actually I forgot, I did play that Throng of Life, so I could have actually returned that last round with my roll cards. Let's just say I've got 2 Throngs of Life in my hand. So not that it's going to matter necessarily, but 3 + 1 is 4, so I get to add 4 progress. She clears with 3. I need to resolve the sun, so I will take an exhaustion. I have no cards in my deck. I'm pretty sure I get to keep playing until I cannot do the thing, whether it's draw a card or take fatigue. Another reshuffle, although I'm just going to be ending the day here after I get my mission. All right, so let's check 45. 45.7 now stands, and the floating disc which was hovering before her settles gently to the ground. As you know, Elder Thrush depends on me to communicate telepathically with rangers in the field, but to do so effectively, I require the support of the most powerful spirits of this land. One of those, interestingly enough, is the spirit of the Verdessa. It shares a deep connection with the spirit of the valley, like a mother to her child, and for some reason I cannot reach it. It is very distressing. I received word that a wandering botanist has recently returned from an excursion to the Verdessa and that she's brought some rare plant specimens along with her. She's currently staying at the merchant's quarters in Kobo's Market. If I had one of these specimens, I may be able to use it to reconnect with the spirit of the Verdessa. Perhaps you could accompany me to the market. I would be very grateful. I can either accompany Nal to Kobo's Market, remove all progress, and attach the helping hand mission to her, or some other time, discard her, and each ranger soothes to fatigue. Well, unfortunately, Helping Hand is a day-only mission. It only lasts for the current day, which is about to end. So I'm going to have to say not right now. I'm just too tired, but we'll come back tomorrow and see whom we find. Is Kobo's Market? Oh, that Kobo's Market is down here. So we would need to get her and then travel twice, Boulder Field and Kobo's Market, or Ancestors Grove and Kobo's Market. So this is kind of the wrong direction. Yeah, I'm looking to go this way, back to the northern outpost after I find the tracker guy. So we'll see what I decide to do. I also might lean into prioritizing the prey because I really just have not done that yet. Day 1, I actually got 5 prey, I think. but then I wasn't able to travel, so I lost it all. Now today I got 1, not even close. Got a lot of exhaustion today. This is a huge chunk. This is like half. I think more cards that got exhausted than I actually used. Technically a short day, I suppose, although I've still been recording for over an hour, so I guess that's good enough. I'll go ahead and I mean, I can end the round. I could search, I could traverse, I could remember, but none of it really matters. Well, actually I couldn't do some of those things because the fractal wire would fatigue me and that would end the day anyway. So I could try to deal with the fractal wire, but it doesn't matter. We'll end the day. We'll be back at, or still at Lone Tree Station next time, try to find the tracker. Maybe we'll do Spirit Speaker Now's thing. Try to lure quiet maybe eventually. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for subscribing, and bye.